Hi, folks. Jesus wants to speak, so I'm going to speak with Jesus. Come, divine will. Come speak in my speaking. Come listen in our listening. December the 8th, 1928. Excuse me. Louisa's 12th entry of her 25th volume, where once again she's writing from the house of the divine will in Carato, from her little bedroom from which she can see the Blessed Sacrament in Tabernacle. Or she can see the Tabernacle. And I'm recording this on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. And if you remember, in the encyclical on Christ the King, the Pope talks about how the feasts are given in order to catechize us. They're there to help teach us the truths of the faith. So we have the feast today, so now we learn about the truths of the faith. Louisa, I was thinking, why did all creation exult with joy and celebrate so much the Immaculate Queen in her Immaculate Conception? And my always lovable Jesus, moving in my interior, told me. Now, before I proceed, when we say the whole of creation exalted with joy and celebrated, can we imagine that? Can we imagine creation exulting with joy over a newly conceived child, in this case the Blessed Virgin Mary? Because children of the divine will, creation is groaning in labor pains, awaiting for you to be revealed. So there's always these connections to be drawn. You will see creation alive. Think of those of you who've seen The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. When the children first go to Narnia and everything's in winter, creation is dead. But then as the film journeys on, as the narrative, the film for me, I remember reading the book, as the story goes on and as winter comes to an end, the trees come alive. Creation comes alive. My daughter, do you want to know why? Because the divine will had the beginning of its life in the celestial tiny little girl, and therefore the beginning of all goods in all creatures. There is no good which in my divine will does not begin, descend, and ascend into its source. Therefore, since this celestial little girl, from her very immaculate conception, began her life in the divine fiat, and since she was from the human stock, with my will she acquired the divine life, and with her humanity she possessed the human origin. So she had the power to unite the divine and the human, and she gave to God what man had not given him, and had denied to him, which was his will. Now, that line, she had the power to unite the divine and the human, I think it's in the Catechism, talks about how so we are surrounded by material creation, but we have a spiritual soul, which is, the angels are pure spirit, and creation is pure material. But we, mankind, we are material and spirit. So within ourselves, we unite the material and the spiritual. And here Jesus tells Louisa that Mary unites the divine and the human. And she gave to God what man had not given him and had denied him, which was his will. And she gave men the right to be able to ascend to their Creator. To be able to ascend to the embraces of her Creator. With the power of her fiat, which she had in her power, she bound God and men. And bear that in mind, folks. God has given you that power, the power of the fiat. You're giving your fiat, and when you give your fiat, you can take the fiats of creation. You can take the fiats of redemption, the fiat of sanctification. You can make those fiats your own, and therefore the power of the fiat can reign in you. She bound God and men. So all creation, heaven and earth, and even hell, felt in the Immaculate Conception of this virgin, little girl, just newly born in the womb of her mama, the strength of the order which she was placing in all creation. With my will, she associated herself with all as their sister. She embraced all. She loved everything and everyone, and all longed for her, loved her, and felt honored to adore the divine will in the privileged creature. Now that's the first paragraph. So I'm going to do a few shorts today on this, on these, on this particular entry of Louisa's. Okay, Fiat voluntas tua.